Man, y'all know the face, y'all know the name. Y'all tuned into the World's Fullest Podcast, Talk Ain't Cheap Podcast, hosted by yours truly, Mr. Samoy Kris Real Talk. And I got a special guest here in traditional Talk Ain't Cheap fashion. Y'all know I do not introduce my guest. I feel that's real lackluster. So, guest, please introduce yourself.
I go by the name of Kris Cartel, Staten Island Zone, artist, comedian, actor, father, all the above.
So it was a pleasure to have you.
Appreciate you for having me.
Thank you for having me in your space as well. I have a lot of questions. First things first, how you doing? I haven't seen you and spoke to you in a minute.
Life is at its best right now, if I'm being honest. Even that it comes with ups and downs, but on creative level, I'm creating music, I'm creating movies, I'm creating TV shows. So these are the things that keep me active, so to speak. You know what they say about idle time. So
That was Playground.
that's the one.
Definitely. No, that's beautiful. I'm glad you're in a good space. Last time I spoke to you, I think it was like a couple years ago.
Now it wasn't. It was last year. On live.
Yes.
I was on live for a little sometime last year or the year before that.
And you were in a very, I wouldn't say dark space, but you was in a space where you were just trying to figure out like what your next move was going to be and everything. So my question for you really is like, what has changed from last year to this year that you're now in your best space?
As men, some you know what they say about mental health. You know what I mean? They speak on it, but it's also understanding yourself. And it's not even so much that, reminding yourself who you are and what you're destined for. So that was kind of a snap out of it moment. Like, all right, come on, let's get it together, bro. But realistically, God placed a wife in my life.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. How did you, because I don't want to jump all over the place, but I'm just curious since you brought it up. How did you find a wife? And how did you know it was a time to make this woman a wife in the seasons that you just came out of? After the season you just came out of?
When somebody spiritually, emotionally guides you through a storm, that's a difference maker. That's why I said God placed. Because it was literally, it had to have been ordained. You know, that's how, not to get biblical with it, but realistically, that's how I feel about it. Like, it had to be, because when we met, we were both in our own separate situations, unhappy. And we took a chance on life. Fast forward a year, that's my wife, and she just gave me my first daughter. You know? So it's not so much that I found a wife, is that my wife found me. God placed it in my life for a reason. You feel what I'm saying? And like, I remember I had put it on the post the other day. I'm like, no offense to any women, but I really hope you hear what I'm gonna say. But you're not a wife when you marry your husband. That's not something that you become. That is something that you are. It has to be in you. Yes, can you learn it? Yes, over time. But there are women, and there's a lot of them. And unfortunately, that's why we have so many like broken down situations, because it's scorn. Because you have a lot of women that do that. They give you wife energy in the relationship stage, in the girlfriend stage. Those are the wives. I come home, I ain't got to worry about a meal. That's one of our biggest arguments, me and my wife, if I don't let her cook. Thursday, Friday, we pretty much have an open house. You know what I mean? It's just my daughter, the baby. That's it. You ain't gotta cook. I'll eat a bowl of cereal. Like, relax. You know what I mean? That's a wife. I mean, they beef. Oh, you liking pictures on Instagram. Is you gonna eat or not? What are we eating? What are we doing? Come on, man. I'm not even gonna ask you. Here, sit down. Here's your plate. That's a wife. And it's not even about just the I'm using that example, but
it's just the fact that they care so much about your well-being.
Their love language is to see, because again, the way that I look at it, the right woman in your life is the battery to you being a battery operated toy. The battery, Your woman speaks life into you. So you can go out and do extraordinary things. The right woman. The wrong woman will speak despair and depression and negativity. Words have power coming out of certain people's mouths. And that's something that like we don't really look at. Be careful what you say, be careful who you give your energy to, because it makes a difference. You know?
So what did you see in her that made it like clear that you had to make her a wife? Because like you've experienced a lot of different things, a lot of different women, you've been around the world, you've seen a lot of different things. What about her stood out specifically that made you be like, this has to be my wife and not just someone you want to keep in your life?
She made me want to be better than I could be. Not because she asked me, not because she hinted, just because of who she is. Her energy brings me peace. You feel me? We could sit in the room for the next 10 hours, me and her, and not say a word, and I'll be at the most happiest. There's days that I'm playing my Xbox on one TV. She's watching Sisters or Zatima or something like with the baby. We in the same room. She's right next to me, not a word. And that would be the most peaceful moments. It's not something that the person does. It's what they do for you without even knowing that they're doing it. Without them even realizing that they can do it. You understand? And that was the difference maker. Like, she made me want to be better than I ever could be. You know what I mean?
That's beautiful. So so the question I had in mind when I was prepping for this interview was, what's the difference, or who's the difference between Kris Cartel, E-Rock, and E-Word?
E-Word is a scared kid, afraid to fail or let people down. E-Rock was manifested through my anger growing up in life. It got to a point where I was forced to be very violent and do a lot of things because of the facts of being like, I'm gonna be real with you, I was bullied. From 6th to 7th grade, bullied every day. 8th grade, I woke up with a vengeance to where they created in-house suspension from how many times I was suspended in the 8th grade. Because I'm coming from, and it's fear. That's why I say that somebody will do something to you out of fear more than they'll do something because they want to. Because it was with me, it was out of fear of getting my things taken, being. That was my villain arc, as so to speak. That was the start of it. 8th grade, I came back with a vengeance that summer. You know what I mean? That summer I literally went around the world. I spent the summer in Australia and New Zealand that year. You know what I mean? On a student ambassador program. So seeing how different people live in different parts of the world, and seeing that, like, I'm a kid from the projects. Like, I was born in Park Hill. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm in Australia right now. I'm in New Zealand right now. Nah. And that was the switch was at that time frame. And it was just like, yeah, nah, it was so that's where E-Rock was born. Kris Cartel is the super confident, know what he wants. He could be the light of the room if he wants to be. He could be the darkness in the room if he wants to be. He's him, as they say. It's Timothy, you know. But that's how it breaks down.
So let's talk about E-Word, right? Mm-hmm. What was that period of your life like? You know, young, born in Park Hill, living in the projects, you know, beautiful mom. Rest in peace, Auntie Vicky.
Yes.
What was that time in your life like? Like, tell us like what was going on around that time and what that experience was like.
It was there. I was like, even though like I was like I said, I was living in the projects, but we weren't allowed. I wasn't allowed outside. Like, my mom was super overprotective, super sheltered, and that was part of the problem as I got older. Like, we'll get to that. But I was always afraid of, again, with the kid messing up or saying something wrong or doing something wrong to where, because if my mother get mad, you know African parents, it would be like, so like everything was like, I kind of walked on eggshells on one side, and then on the other side, it was anger brewing as I got older because my pops really wasn't in my life. You know what I mean? And I'm very big on say what you mean and mean what you say, even from a youngin'. So when he say I'm gonna come see you this Saturday, and he never show, and then I don't hear from you for another 2 months, and the next time I see you, like, yeah, I'm coming tomorrow, and I'll be sitting in front of the door, waiting. So that like that let down, so not wanting to like, so it's a lot of, so to say, hidden demons, you know, that I've had to deal with over the time. But that was what it was like growing up, and then going through that, and then my sister comes. And then now you got to hear her how she was when you just went through it a couple years ago, and now but you can't tell her. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, some scars you have to bear. You understand? And that's part of the problem with today's society is like you're not allowed to get your licks.
What do you mean by that?
You know how they say sometimes you got to fall on your face to appreciate walking? That's what it is. The world has catered to the youth. When I was in school, I was afraid of my teachers because why my teachers is gonna call my mother, and it's up. When I was in high school, I don't even know where she's at, but Miss Joyce, my mother gave Miss Joyce written permission to beat me up. That was the head security guard at McKee. Amazing lady. She kept me straight when I was there, when I would show up. But nowadays, the kids be like, yo, I'm gonna call your parents. Whatever bitch call, you want me to call you for you? Parents are afraid the kids. It's a fucked up cycle. But that was. I know I'm all over the place. My bad.
Nah, you perfect. Nah, this is what this is about. I'm glad we having this conversation. So you had a lot of anger.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your dad wasn't really in your life in your early ages. So what happened after that? Like you talked about your time in McKee and how, you know, your mom gave the head security permission to discipline you if need be.
Mm-hmm.
How, like, what transpired after that?
I never got to. I still fucked up because I wanted to be something that. Matter of fact, let me backtrack before I even get to that. Remember how I was saying that my mom had too much hold on me? When she finally let go, it was a rocket. Like I was outside, bugging out.
Why?
Doing because that's what I thought was cool at the time. I'm gonna be real with you. You know what I mean? Being the youngest kid around older people, when you finally get to go outside, you 13, 14, 15 years old, everybody else 17, 18, 19, 20 years old. So it's regular for them to be wilding out. You're not supposed to be wilding out at no 12, 13, 14 years old. Like, you supposed to be still fucking playing with G.I. Joes around my era, you know, but it's not the case. So when she finally let me go, it was I started wilding, so I'm not gonna get into it. I ended up catching a case. Right before my birthday of 05. Fought the case, lost in 06, copped out, did 2 years up north in various prisons. Came home 08, got off parole in 09. My final sentencing was a 1 to 3 with a YO. And pretty much what a YO is pretty much a youthful offender. My birthday being what it was is what saved my life. Because if I did the crime 2 weeks before my birthday.
So you weren't able to be charged as an adult.
So I fought it for a year. It happened in January. They caught me in February because they came up to McKee and got me, and to my high school and got me. And they did me greasy too because they waited for the bell to ring before they walked me out to the prison. I mean, they walked me out to the car. So they waited for all the kids to be in the hallway to see. Yeah, they made me do a walk of shame. Fucking ass pigs. But I ended up throughout the year we fought the case every month. We're going to court every month. So December of 05, the judge was like, "You have 2 options next month when you come in my courtroom. You're either gonna take a plea that we give you, or you're gonna take it to trial. No way, I'm going to trial. And crazy thing, that's a whole nother story. But that's a whole nother story. But the January comes, January 3rd of 2006. Go to court, and the judge was like, "You can do 18 months, no YO, or 1 to 3 with a YO." I didn't know what the hell it was. My lawyer pulled me to the side. This is what it is. I'll take the YO. And pretty much what a youthful offender is my record sealed. So it shows an arrest. That's it. I don't have a record technically. Like I can legally on documentation say that there's no arrest. There's no history of incarceration. Mm-hmm. Because now, God forbid, I catch another felony. Now that opens up, and now it's up. Mm-hmm. I went away, did 2 years. Like I said, came home 2008 and got off parole in 2009. And the problem was because I was still young-minded. So I wanted to catch up on all the time that I missed out on. So I come home 2 weeks before my 21st birthday. Right? Can't really celebrate. My boy, his girl, and my girl, we in my basement drinking. Right? That's how my 21st. So my 22nd birthday now, I got a parole that like 2 weeks ago. I'm 2 weeks fresh. Start wilding. Fucking everything, drinking, smoking, outside, spending money. And then my high school girlfriend, we end up rekindling through MySpace. She hit me up on MySpace on some like, hey, big head. Yeah, and I'm gonna be real with it. I mean, we were never supposed to be together, ever. Even an instigator and a fighter go hand in hand together. I talk shit. If I know you don't like somebody, I'm gonna get y'all to fight. Even women, I can't put my hands on women. So when they put their hands on me, yeah. So that's what it was. So being fresh home and still being young-minded, got into a relationship that shouldn't have been, which didn't last because I still wanted to be super outside. You know what I mean? And just started to I'm drinking 2-3 times a week. I'm smoking crazy. I'm anything with a hole. I'm wilding all throughout my 20s. There was my circle at the time. We had this thing called the 10 new. Every year you got to get 10 new chicks. Every year 10 new chicks. Every year 10 new chicks. Not including the ones that are already in the quote unquote rotation. Every year. Living just such a toxic life. And this is before you grow up and you learn about soul ties and energy bonds and all these kind of things that are spiritual that can hold on to and hold you back. We think we having a good time and don't know we setting ourselves back. What the fuck we celebrating?
So when did you realize that you were living a destructive lifestyle?
When I moved to Atlanta. When my mother passed. When my mother passed. And when you lose something that close, you start to question everything. You're forced to emotionally dissect everything that you think you know. And that's still you being woke, and I hate the term because they done watered it down so much, but understanding it's a daily process. You know what I mean? It's not just something that you could just pick up today and no, it's a daily process. You have to work on that shit. But that was around the time because then my therapy became motorcycle riding. And that created a whole new zen for me. You know what I mean? Like I make jokes all the time, like, that's cheaper than the therapist. You know what I mean? It's crazy how the thing that could kill me is the thing that saved my life, was me riding. So when you, like I said, when you lose somebody that close to you, you start to dissect and you see them just like people celebrate my life, and so I regret half of it. outside of, I mean, you know, but I regret half of it because it was such I'm just an accepting because I don't really love myself. I was well into my 30s when I learned how to love myself.
What does loving yourself look like?
It depends on the person, but for me, I'm not just gonna accept anything. Even in my single moments, and I'm whoring, I'm picking and choosing. The old me, anything. Now, and it has nothing to do with looks or it's about energy. You know what I mean? I would say from on a 75% average, anything from 32 on have been good energy people. You know what I mean? Like all of us are quote unquote flourishing in life. You know what I mean? Married, kids, happy houses. Like you can't have that, but it's easier to obtain when you got good energy. You know what I mean? So that's what it became. That's when I realized, that's when you learn to really love yourself. Like you don't accept what you're given. You take what you create. That's the difference.
That's an interesting perspective. I like that. You don't accept what you're given, you take what you create. I like that a lot. Okay. So mom passed away. You know, you move to Atlanta. You kind of say like in that space you kind of learned how to love yourself.
Yeah.
What was happening around that space that made you like kind of figure that out?
That was really when I started to get on. Now modern day E-Rock is an MC member. You know what I mean? So now I'm literally riding my motorcycle up and down the East Coast, experiencing what life really is. Because it's different. Life is, everybody's driven up and down the East Coast, but it's different when you're on two wheels. To see the sunrise on two wheels, to see the sunset on two wheels, to see rain, hail, winds on two wheels is different. It creates a different aura. It elevates the aura that you currently have. I'll say it that way. It elevates the aura that you already have when you get to experience that kind of life. Because we're so used to New York, like Staten Island does what Staten Island does, Brooklyn does. When somebody says or does something, they're like, "Where you from?" Brooklyn. Oh, I knew it. The motorcycle culture is not like that. New York is not like Jersey. Jersey is not like Connecticut. Connecticut is not like Maryland. Maryland is not like Virginia. Virginia is not. And I'm from New York to Florida. You know what I mean? In that 2-year time span.
On the motorcycle.
Alabama, Tennessee, Oklahoma, like all in a 2-year span.
On a motorcycle.
On a motorcycle.
You don't get tired when you're on a motorcycle?
That's the thing, right? Can you stay up for 2 hours?
Yeah.
And if you get a Red Bull every 2 hours, you're gonna be all right?
I mean, I should be. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Them motorcycles is dangerous though, bro.
Going to sleep is dangerous. God rest her soul. My aunt went to bed after celebrating her birthday and didn't wake up. Didn't have no health issues, nothing. High blood pressure, but that's about it. Went to bed, so because she didn't wake. She died in her sleep. I'm not go to sleep. How many people have fallen down steps, planes, cars, crack? Fear's not real. Fear is a construct of control that society has put on us. It's overstimulated caution. There's nothing wrong with being cautioned, but there's a problem, and there's nothing with being fearful. But when you allow fear to dictate your actions, you lost. You understand what I'm saying?
I feel it. But you can't tell me riding a motorcycle ain't dangerous though.
Living is dangerous. living is dangerous. Let's be for real. You know what I mean? In the past, I was more scared to send, because my oldest was just out here. My oldest son was just out here. I was more scared to send him on the plane than I am to do 120 miles on the. Because why? We done had like 20 or 30 airplane issues over the past 2 months, 3 months. Every other day, you see on the news that this airplane, this airline, this air. everybody's still flying. But and that's why a lot of people in life tend to be so miserable, because again, fear is a construct. It's a construct. It's like if you're afraid to do something that might liberate you, that might truly free you, you won't do it because it's fearful. Oh, it's dangerous. Anything is dangerous. You control as much as you can control. So yes, for me, riding is probably, the way that I ride now, is probably 30% dangerous. And I'm probably pushing it, but let's just say 30%.
Why, you take your time now? Like you don't.
I have what I call controlled wildouts. Well, I have little spurts. Like for example, on the way back here, because we was at the clubhouse and I rode back here. Have my little spurts. Cool. I don't have to wild out for 14 hours now. You know what I mean? Can I? Yes, but I don't want to. And when I want to, I'm gonna do it my way, and I'm gonna do it controlled. But it's not every day. It's not a necessity. There's people that I wasn't always doing what I'm doing now. There was times when I started when I wouldn't get on the highway. There was times that I started I wouldn't cross a bridge. If you would have told me 4 years ago that 5 years ago I'd be doing what I've done, I'd look at you like you was crazy. I used to be afraid of bikes. I used to be afraid of them. My mother leaving was fear left my body. That was my anchor, so to speak, for a while, and that's why I kind of feel like my marriage is perfect, or it was the perfect person, because she in the world of society, she comes with baggage. That baggage is my anchor now. It's part of my anchor. You understand? So now I've built my own family, and that is my anchor to reality.
Is it because y'all know that y'all both not perfect?
Yes.
And y'all both come with things that would be deemed as, questionable.
Yes.
But because, like, I guess your faith, your relationship with God, whatever that belief system may be, has brought you closer together to
legitimately, yeah.
To make sure that, to basically legitimize your relationship.
Legitimately, yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. That's dope. Yeah. Do you have any advice for your younger self looking back at all the things that you've done? Is there anything that you regret or things that you would change in your process?
There's a lot that I regret. I wouldn't change anything.
Why is that?
Because I wouldn't be where I'm at right now, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically. I wouldn't be where I'm at without all of that. All of that. All of my knowledge comes from experiencing physically or learning from those that I learned from. You understand? That I wouldn't be able to be who I am. I wouldn't be as emotionally intelligent. I wouldn't be as spiritually intelligent. I wouldn't be all these things without my entire life. The good and the bad. That's the thing. That, like, we don't lose on this side. We win or we learn. A loss just means try again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the difference. Like, even people like, oh, so you wouldn't go back and take away your prison time? No. That's where my third eye started to grow. My yearning for knowledge and wanting to know and learn things. It started there. When you put a child in a room full of grown men, it's one of two things. But the only thing that's guaranteed is he's going to learn something. But it's up to who he is and what's around him and his support system to see what he's going to learn. I read 300 books in 2 years.
You read 300 books in 2 years? Like cover to cover?
Cover to cover. I've read John Grisham's entire catalog, Sidney Sheldon's entire catalog, Terry Wood's entire catalog. There's a few. Oh, fuck, no, that was all Terry Woods. Yeah. There's a few, but yeah. Yeah.
What books would you say have the most impact on you?
What is it? 48 Laws of Power. And that's the fucked up part is people always think it's just for negativity. There's a lot of knowledge in that book. But to be honest, the thing that I use the most is not even a book. It's chess.
Oh, chess.
The greatest teacher in life.
You play chess?
I put it this way. I think the only thing I do better than play chess is be a father. Like my uncle used to come out here from London, and I used to spend my summers in Central Park watching him play. 2, 3 years old. He used to make me do homeworks on different openers and make me draw it out. So 12, 13, 14 pages of each move, draw it out and hand it to him. Chess is one of the greatest teachers that we have because it can show you how to maneuver in life. Who's who? Who's what? You know what I mean? Who can be what? Who has the potential to be what? In somebody's stories, we all pawns. But what can a pawn? Matter of fact, you play chess, I see.
So I'm more of a spades dominoes player with a little Uno in there, connect 4 vibe. But I have played chess before.
Cool. So, but you understand?
Yeah, to a certain extent.
In your opinion, what's the most dangerous piece on the board?
The queen.
Wrong.
The pawn. Why you say the pawn?
A pawn can only be a queen. With the right guidance, a pawn could be anything that it wants to be. Because if you can get a pawn from one end to the other, which most people end up picking another queen anyway, but realistically, the queen can only be a queen. Yes, it can move all over, but it can only be that. What if I don't need another queen? What if I need a rook? What if I need a bishop? What if I need a knight? A pawn has the potentials to be that, depending on who's guiding him. Even down to life, realistically. That's why I say we're all a pawn in somebody's life. It's to reach a goal. You know how they say that some people are here for a reason or a season? The people that were just there for a season were needed for that season.
Is that how you rationalize a lot of your relationships?
Yes. Now, them just fucked me up in the moments of all of that. Yeah, I've loved a lot of women, but I've been in love 3 times, and the one that has been meant the most is my marriage now. And I'm not just saying that because I'm married. Like my wife know I ain't got no problem telling like X, Y, Z, but that is the most meaningful. And they say that you only get 3 real ones. You know what I mean? The first one is to teach you, which is gonna show you what you should deserve and what you should strive to be. The second one's gonna test you. And the third one is the one of completion. That is your graduation. That is your line cross. Your you know what I mean? That's your moment in time of completing the test is your third love. You know. Some people find all 3 in one. You know what I mean? But I was blessed to be able to see all 3. My first, we ain't gonna say no names, but my first showed me what it is to be loved by a woman. Wholeheartedly, unapologetically, and selfishly. What it is to be loved by a woman. My second taught me what it is to love a woman. Wholeheartedly and unapologetically. After that relationship taught me patience. You understand what I'm saying? Or the true meaning of patience. It's a battlefield sometimes with your woman, but we're in such a set it and forget it kind of era that whatever, I'll find a new one. I'll have a new bitch later. That's the mentality of most people. It's fuck these niggas, fuck these bitches kind of mentality. Like nah, nigga, fight for your shit. Yo, I'll be real with you. I had to fight for my marriage. Bro, and I was so quick. I almost let it go. I almost made the same mistake. You feel what I'm saying? So it's just like, nah, like get over it. But that's the difference between the you passed the test already. You already graduated, so you know how to answer the questions. And that's how it came back. Like, nah, we not doing this. Sit down. We're gonna talk about this. I know you used to XYZ, but I'm used to XYZ. But we're not gonna do that. We're gonna do ABC, and 1, 2, 3. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like that's what it was, and that was the difference. So that's what it is with mine now, and that's my 3 loves. Or in, there's a difference between loving and in love.
What's the difference?
Oh. And most men they won't admit to it, but you completely change for someone you're in love with without even realizing it. Things that you do, the things that you say because of who they are and how much they mean to you, you subconsciously start to, like I said, become a better you. It's a completion of your energy, so to speak. Your rib is back in your body. You know how they say the woman comes from the man rib. So your rib is back in your body. So you're back at 100%. You're not gonna get that from somebody that you like. I love you, but I won't. It might hurt when you leave, but it won't make no difference to my life. When you lose somebody that you're in love with, it's a drastic change in life. You know what I mean? And that's why sometimes it's cool to know when your change is or when the things are happening, because God forbid, who were you before the relationship? You understand what I'm saying? Because, perfect example, I don't go outside as much. You know what I mean? The old me probably would have been in somebody's state on 2 wheels by now. I'd rather be like, yo, you coming outside? What we doing? Do I gotta perform? No? Nah, I ain't coming. We make music? Nah, we writing a script? We working? Nah, I ain't coming. We just wanna party. What the fuck we partying for? Again, what are we celebrating? Everybody wants to, and it was one thing if there's things to celebrate, achievements and goals, and like perfect example. Tomorrow, one of my brothers might have a chance at having his first son. I'm all for it. I'm in that building. That's a party I'll go to. That's a celebration. We celebrating life. We're celebrating love. You feel me? My media circle right now, everybody married. Everybody married. Or on the way. My brother Petey just got married last year. I got married in December right after him. My brother EJ just proposed to his wife. Let's go in. We're going to Vegas to for them to get married in July. That's celebration. Because why we didn't see that growing up. We got baby showers and funerals. You know what I mean? We getting welcome homes parties. All my bro, especially with my club, everybody has some kind of success of their own. You feel what I'm saying? My brother Joey, married, happy. You know what I mean? Those, again, your circle also dictates where you're at in life. You feel what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong, do I have single friends? Yes, but I don't see them as much. I don't do single shit. Y'all outside trying to bag bitches. I'm gonna be in the corner to FaceTime my wife, let me see my baby. Like, you feel me? Like, it's different. But yeah. That's the man, you got this.
Nah, I'm proud of you, bro. Like, this is beautiful, cause like just seeing your growth.
Babe, don't get a big head neither.
This is beautiful, like hearing your growth. Like I said, I'm just happy for you. we could talk more about the relationships and family. Like we could talk a little bit about fatherhood. Like what has fatherhood taught you about yourself?
And this is probably the first time I'm gonna say it out loud, and I'm afraid to, kind of, because it sounds crazy to me. But being a full-time stepfather has taught me how to be a real father. Or I'm learning, because just because of the culture that we come from, it's yell, punish, beat. You can't put your hands on somebody else's child. So you got to think of new ways to get across to them, and then you see the positive effect of being there daily. You know what I mean? And in return you feel that love. You feel me? Like I remember each of them, each one of the first time they slipped up and called me dad, and was so worried that it was a wrong thing, is it the right thing? You know what I mean? Like it's the relationship, the daily relationship that I've gained with them is teaching me newer ways to get to my kids. You know what I mean? Because my oldest he'll be 16 in August. You know what I mean? We had a rough patch in life. You know what I mean? Which is it's understandable. But the old me, yell, scream, threaten, beat, whatever the case may be. It's the culture we come from. There's newer ways. Don't get me wrong. These kids need beatings. Don't get it twisted. Like if need, I'm all for a needed spanking, especially when there's a conversation afterwards to articulate why this is happening, to teach accountability to the child. Kids don't got no accountability nowadays. Like this shit is spooky outside. That's why I be inside. I be in the house.
No, I feel that. I feel that completely. Let's talk creativity. You do a lot of different things. So you spoke about, obviously, first of all, you're a music artist.
I am.
Kris Cartel.
Yes.
You got some songs. You got With It.
Yes.
You got Rain Man.
Yes. All night.
All night.
Yes. Those are the 3 singles from my upcoming album, Live from a Broken Home 2.
Yep. Also, 2 is coming out.
2's out. 2's is on the way.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What's your creative process when it comes to creating music?
Music is a diary. It's therapy. So it's been a while. Like my last project was
2001.
2021, which was Live from a Broken Home. So shout out to Tiffany. She's that I don't care what nobody says. That's my #1 fan. Like she knows my music sometimes better than me. She used to make jokes. She's like, "What do I gotta do? I gotta get you a girlfriend so she could break your heart so I can get a project." Because it always from going back from Out of Focus up until now, every album or every project is associated with some kind of emotional, traumatic moment, whether it be a breakup, death, something is related to it. So it's always that way. Like a lot of my records, it starts off dreary. Like a lot of the projects, it's dreary, emo, so to speak. Then it goes into this angry phase, and then it goes into this sexual party phase, and then then it's clarity. You know, they post nut clarity. So, and that is just the emotional roller coaster that men go through. Something traumatic happens. You go into this shell. Then we get angry, either at ourselves or at our circumstance or the situation. Then we use sex as an outlet to feel better. And then as soon as it's over, you realize like, damn, like this ain't it. Like I gotta get my shit together. So that's what majority of my, like even Out of Focus was the same way. Like I'm out of focus and regaining my clarity. Live from a Broken Home was just, it's all right. Where Out of Focus, the Out of Focus trilogy is the traumas and the things of outside. Live from a Broken Homes is the trials and tribulations and of inside the house. You know what I mean? After losing my mom's and my son wanted to move back with his mother and things of its nature. My ex leaving me when my mother was on her deathbed. Like all these things that happened and one after another. You feel what I'm saying? So that was like, and it's all in-house. It's not outside shit, it's in-house shit. So welcome to my journey of it's gonna be a bumpy ride, but it's gonna be sunshine at the end. So that's what the platform has always been for Live from a Broken Home. And I'm pretty much to an extent bringing the same on Live from a Broken Home too, is just with new flavors. You know what I mean? You know how they compared to rap snacks, you know they got different flavors. So it's like
same snacks.
The same snacks, different flavors.
Different flavors.
So, but yeah, All Night was the first single. And I'm gonna be real with y'all. All Night and With Me were recorded in 2020. Those are the things that I'm not gonna lie didn't make Live from a Broken Home, and the only reason why is because of paperwork. The leases and things of that nature would be able to have gone through in time to clear the record. So that was the issue, but. Those All Night is again, it's a sexual record. It should be on everybody's bedroom playlist. You know what I mean? Make sure y'all check that out.
It's a big record. It's a big record. It's a good record.
It's sensual and sexual without being overly sexual. You know what I mean? Like that's something that where you like even my homegirl told me, she's like, yo, I could really just sit back, sip my wine or smoke a blunt, close my eyes and picture the shit that you're saying as you're saying it. And that was probably the greatest compliment I've gotten from a record like that. Because it's like, that was the point. Sonically, let's take a trip through sexuality and let's enjoy it all night. Where everybody's so bro, sit like tease each other. You know what I mean? Like make it worth it. Like go to the bar and pretend to be somebody else and try to bag each other. And see if you can get home to the room. I guarantee you that build up is different when you actually take your time. Send your wife or your girlfriend some text messages throughout the days of just little kinky shit. Little things, like those little things. When people think when I say all night with the records, it's all night. No, it's all night because it started from the morning time, and we're gonna build. We're going all night. You understand what I'm saying? Like it's that build up and that release is different. So that was just and even then, so it was kind of an experiment as well. Music has become very experimental over the past like 2-3 projects. So you've seen a lot of harmonies, a lot of singing attempts. So I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I ain't no Chris Brown, but if you hear the records, I can make a record.
You can hold the tune.
I can hold the tune. So it worked. You know what I mean? And even when I'm performing, the ooh. Those kind of reactions back by people wanting to bust out smiling when it happened, but in the middle of performing, you got to hold it down.
Yeah, I keep it cool.
It's like, all right, cool. And I'm talking about I'm performing in places that nobody know me, other than maybe 1 or 2 people, and I just met you. You know what I mean? Like it's those kind of situations. So those kind of reactions, where a nigga almost punched his girl's head off, I don't condone it, but because she was vibing to the record a little bit too much, that for negative situation, that's a positive reaction to me. You understand what I'm saying? Your girl is vibing to the record, bro, and you that mad.
What do you like better, performing or writing the music?
They both have their own things, but I think writing the record means more to me because of the way that I write. You know what I mean? I'll get a beat, I hear something, because you got to hear it before you write it, obviously. So I hear something and I start mumbling, when I hear the beat, and then once I get I start getting a cadence. Once you get a cadence, then you get an idea. Ideas become words. Words become lines, and then it's just boom. All right, 2 lines. I'm stuck. Go back, restart the beat, come back. Might get 2.5 lines. Go back. Add another 4 lines. That's 6.5. Add another half line. And then by the time the record is done and as you're going, like you're pushing your limit. Like you'll see a lot with my records with flow changes. Like I change my cadence a lot throughout my records. Like even in the record where you'll like with me, there's 3 or 4 different flows on that one verse. You feel me? Like that's pushing the limits, quote unquote, is right there because most people they're just gonna rap the way they rap. Who wants to step out of their comfort zone? I just woke up one morning and tried to sing. Or respectfully, it'll be somebody I'm supposed to get a feature and they don't come through. The session's already, I'm in the middle of the session waiting for you. I'm gonna try it. Oh shit, this worked out. All right, cool. I know when I go back to writing, I can push the pen a little bit more. You know what I mean? So I enjoy the process. And that's the getting the shit off your chest. You feel me? When you writing it, you sitting it. And I'm not gonna. I've gotten spoiled. I use my phone, so in all actuality, it's typing. But you know what I mean. But the process. I'll say writing is more important than, or means more to me than performing. But don't even. I love to perform. I love being on stage. I love interacting and getting the responses after the fact. But if I had to choose between the two, I'm always go with writing and recording.
And you're in your acting bag now. What's that been like? And is there anything that you're working on right now that we should expect to see you in come the new year or come this year?
A lot actually. Some I could talk about, some I can't. The first show, before we get it, like it's just people think that I'm just getting into it now. Like I've been on and off acting for a while. People think skits is just skits. Nah, that's acting. Cause look at most of your TV actors now. Most of them are from skits. You understand what I'm saying? But shout out to Joe Parker. Shout out to Anti-Social Media, Reflex Films, Sci-Fi Life. We have a show called Route that is in production. We're actually doing the premiere on April 19th. Okay. Which is gonna be at the Alamo Theater on Staten Island. Dope. It's a WrestleMania. We're gonna be real. It's a WrestleMania event. You know what I mean? Coming out, it's I think it's like $40 a seat or something of that nature. Don't quote me on the price. Definitely reach out to Joe Parker if this is out in time. Oh, that's in April, of course. But it'll be that, and then at some point throughout that day, we're gonna premiere the first episode of Route. My character is named Bucks. It's not, if we're talking just realms, it's not exactly, but if we're talking about realms, it's in the realms of the wires, the powers, the so on and so forth. Bucks is a wild out. That is what they call now the crash out, the muscle. You know what I mean? Smart, but deadly. You know what I mean? And it's not something, and it's a lot easier to play yourself than to portray a character. Mm-hmm. That's the easiest way, and it's easier because a lot of what's going on in the show, I've witnessed in real life. You know what I mean? To an extent. So it's like it's like kind of like, all right, cool, I'm familiar with this. You know what I mean? And because I adapt and I embrace the writing, it has made it a lot easier just to portray the character.
Dope. Is there anything else that we should expect from you? Anything that we gotta see from you? If we want to connect with you, how can they go about doing so?
We're in the writing process now for another show called The Instructor, which actually I'm writing.
Dope.
That's like I said, we're in the writing process and the costume fitting now. So we're gonna get ready to start doing character trailers within the next couple of months.
If you need an actor, let me know. I'm down to act.
Oh yeah, we could definitely mix. We could definitely write something in.
Let's make it happen. I'm here. I'll make the time. I'll do it. I'll definitely.
I would definitely hold you to it. Y'all heard it here first.
Yeah, I heard it here. I'm definitely. For those who know though. I've been trying to get in the acting scene for a while. It's just I used to do like skits in the past and all that, but I'm really trying to act. So yeah, let's do it.
We could definitely make it happen because right now between, granted it's all one umbrella, but between Sci-Fi Life and Reflex Films and anti-social media, we have about 3 or 4 shows that are being pushed right now. You know what I mean? The industry, our slogan is we are the industry. You know what I mean? We're the new flex. Let's go. We don't need the majors, so to speak. An undoubtable product is just that. Because guess what, right? Let's say you create a show, shoot it, everything, put it on Patreon, and let's just say you make $100,000 independently. Now you can go to a network. Right? Well, I've made $100,000 on my own. What can you provide? Now you can go to a major studio. I did this on this budget. What can you provide, if need be? You understand what I'm saying? So that's where we're at now. But Route is first batter up. Route right now is the first batter up, and then my album. Those are the 2 things that y'all can expect this year from me as far as art and creating.
I love this. So I'll end off the episode asking this question again. Looking back at everything you've been through, all your experiences, relationships, etc., who are you now, and what's the difference between E-Rock, E-Word, and Kris Cartel?
I'll say I'm all 3. I'm what they call a chameleon. I can adapt to any surrounding, any moment, any situation, because of how many quote unquote lives that I've lived and how many different emotions that have guided me through life. So in moments that if it's violence, E-Rock got it. If it's party and entertainment and intelligence, you know what I mean, Kris can dabble in it. If it's about emotions and knowledge, you know what I mean, E-Word is willing to learn. So the 3 of them still play their roles, but I know how to play the game now. It's back to chess. There's a difference between knowing how to operate the pieces and actually how to play. Each one of my personas or personalities, I don't even want to say that because it makes me sound like I'm fucking crazy or something. But everything plays a role. So this is who I'm gonna be, or who I need to be for this moment. This is who I need to be for this moment. This is who I need to be for this moment to get through, because it's about the next platform, the next landmark, the next goal. All of me plays a part in who I am.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for your time, brother.
Appreciate you for having me.
I hope you enjoyed.
Nah, it's a fact. Yeah, you gotta do this. I gotta get. Yeah, you gonna do this again.
This is dope. This is dope. Like I said, y'all tune in Talk Ain't Cheap. Y'all know the slogan's not that deep. Make sure y'all follow Talk Ain't Cheap Network on all platforms. You know, subscribe to our YouTube channel. You know, we trying to make sure we get the visuals. And like I said, thank y'all so much for all the support. If you like candles and you know you want a thing that's gonna make the elevation space, get you an immaculate scent candle, an immaculate scent for an immaculate vibe. And yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. Talk Ain't Cheap. Y'all know the slogan's not that deep. It's a vibe.